Played his match in the qualifying section back in the UK, beat Liam Graham, one of the new pros from the UK, 5-1. Yeah, Mark Davis, he lost because of the Chinese players suspended. A few more places were made available, and he was one of them. So he got an unexpected phone call, and what a bonus to continue his career, which began...
Maybe his career was over, but anyway, here he is. He's still a decent player. You know, there's a headings for the event in the next round. He was soundly beaten by Davis. Today's a very different ball game, though. Hits the pink on that shot.
Round match was very quickly disturbed by the protest, so that session was cancelled. He had to come back eventually on a Thursday morning, 9:30.
Wuhan Open time before last, but this season's form for Joe has not been very good. Whether any of that is linked in with it, I'm not sure. And no doubt they know how to play the game still. It's a tough game for him here, and I was just looking through the draw, and obviously Ding's on the other table, but he's not in the other half of the draw. He's quite close.
Mark Davis unable.
Terrific from them. Hit that red into them. And that's kind of why he lost the cue ball. It's got a red out, but I mean, he's a terrific rest player, but you don't see him use it much because he plays some shots left-handed. When he looked uncomfortable on that shot, he was stretching and his backswing was not full length.
A solid start so far to the campaign. Oh, but that will not please him, catching the knuckle.
Yeah, quite delicate shot, but it's put him straight in to allow it to happen.
No.
Well, he's finished a little bit in between there, and he's not. Cue ball running a little more. Queuing down on the ball, but he made it look easy. That's a terrific shot. That is a very key shot, which could easily...
Yeah, he looks very switched on again, as he did yesterday, as he did in Shanghai. I mean, he said prior to the season that China was going to be his focus, and he's... Difference is, of course, this is a ranking tournament, so that will help. Luca Brecel, of course, withdrew from this tournament. Mark Allen could still overtake him, but he'd have to win the tournament.
Yeah, putting this. He will need one other red following the two in open play. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he was on it perfectly. The shot before was not the natural potting angle. So is there a way back into the frame for Mark Davis? It's a tough table.
No.
He's always been a very solid, reliable player. I know that's not always a surprise. He missed that ball. And under the pressure he was under against Joe Perry, it was a pink into the bottom left pocket. But if he's going to win this frame, obviously the blue is a little awkward where it is, but not much else.
To 5. 86.
Playing into an area where he's got a choice of 2 reds. That century, I mean, he could...
This is Ronnie O'Sullivan's made a century break. In it goes. And as I say, it just underlines the fact that he's firmly on top now in this match. 101, swiftly made, brilliantly made as ever. 5 in use at the moment in this session. (2-1) to Si Jiahui over Jack Jones. Now, where's this red going to finish? It's looking good for Mark Davis.
So the bottom red, it seems, is available, but that's all. He pushed the other. Oh dear. Well, he's just dropping it in, and sadly for Mark. Yes, no luck with that chance either, and quite again, it wasn't all that. Still, for his point of view, O'Sullivan's missed through the gap to the middle. That's a handy one. Yeah, that was unexpected, I think, when Mark got out of his chair.
That he might not have got. I always think with these Chinese events, it's a long way to come. And this is Mark's first match because he did win a qualifier in England. It's a long way to do. Didn't think he'd be on tour.
Well, it can be like that. I mean, my playing days are long over, but I can remember playing in... And the journey home felt a long one. You know, before the tournament ever really started. It didn't happen. Anyway, he's pushed that black a little bit.
Yeah, nicely done. He just prepared himself for that shot, didn't he? He took a few moments, used his experience. You know, we talk about the class of 9. So Anthony Hamilton early, he's another one. Fergal, actually. I know Fergal had to go through Q school, but he's...
32.
It's very good that that from Mark, but he's got to take it all the way now. Look at the table, still pretty dangerous from his point of view. A 55 point.
48.
Still 7 reds on. Well, that's a terrific shot. I mean, he's got a hold of the cue ball too much, in fact.
$54.
And that is absolutely a 1 at the start of this frame. But he's dragged it back, and he's got a frame on the board now.
Yeah, he had to win this. In his long career, he's seen every sort of match. He's been in front and lost. He's come from behind and won it up at the interval at least he's on the scoreboard. He kept Ronnie O'Sullivan for once in his chair. And he now has a chance. He's actually made 2 maximum breaks in competition, both in the Championship League. Well, not to be, but the main thing is he made the frame-winning break, 75. So the players go to the... So O'Sullivan gets the match underway again. He made a break. Mark Davis came back, though, with a 75 in frame 4. So 3-1. O'Sullivan needs 2 more.
Yes, O'Sullivan played okay in those first 4 frames. And that's a fabulous pot. Now that is immediately the best shot he's hit. Well, the pink was protecting the bunch, as we saw evidence of there. Didn't quite get to see.
Oh, Mark. Well, anyone chances, but certainly someone like O'Sullivan with his break-building prowess.
I don't think it was...
Just to remind you, the head-to-head was the last one, which Davis won, that English Open semi-final 2018 in Crawley. Very nearly was relegated. In fact, for about 3 weeks he had been relegated, as we explained earlier, from the tour.
Once again, it's not worked out very well, because he's gone screwed in and out of the bunch when he's the... That's nice recovery. A little cluster of half a dozen having played this shot, but I think he's looking to move it out slightly, which he's done, but he may have to just brush into them, soft screw into the bunch, bringing one into play, although he hoped. In potting the other red, he'll remove the plant, and this way he stays on the black. So for all the world...
Yes, and it's not taken long at all, has it? And this is the danger. Bad thought he'd done the frame, and he was right. Well, he's not on the black here, so... And it goes, so Davis does need a snooker. Otherwise it's 4-1, but he's got to... Well, he hasn't, so there is half a chance here. 1 snooker required. He'd be annoyed by that.
To end up clinching the frame. But he is almost obliged to carry on here. See if he can take it down to 1 red, perhaps. Well, I think that'll do him. I'm not sure he'll be coming back to the table until the start of the next frame now, because he missed the pink by 4-1 down is Mark Davis. Yes, it was fully expected that it was going to be a tough game for him, of course. But you have to play a lot better, I think.
I think it's similar to yesterday. Ken Doherty, again, had chances. He was very attacking, actually, Ken. You know, he didn't try and tie the game up, but he just didn't get enough of them.
I think more to do with this frame, even if he misses now.
Yeah, he will play a younger man tomorrow if he wins. Pang Junxu's in his...
Yeah, and a good player, isn't he? But as you rightly said earlier, you know, at the World Championship, he played him, and
He actually played well towards the end. Obviously, it was his debut, and he's playing day one against O'Sullivan. So he played quite well in the evening, but by then it was. Of course, it'd be a shorter match here, best of 9.
It's one of those 10-7s where his opponent played well, but you know that was then, and of course Ronnie's not there yet. But it appears that he will get this match won at some point.
Yeah, someone this week will have to step up their game, clearly, to beat him. That's true anywhere, but certainly the foe wasn't at his best all the time. He dug in and he produced those bursts of inspiration. 3 times he made back-to-back centuries. The perfectionist for you, but he's firmly in control of this match. 4-1. So Mark Davis gets frame 6 underway. He's 4-1 down here to Ronnie O'Sullivan, who is firmly in control. I mean, this does need some good runs in tournaments as he takes that one on, and part of it is to get in the Players Series, 3 elite events: the World Grand Prix, the Players Championship, and the Tour. So you need to be doing well in tournaments across the season to get in them.
Yeah, and I think that O'Sullivan would probably, and I can't speak for him, but I get the feeling that events like this. Down towards the bulk end, and he knows it. Oh, he's hit it. There you see. Now that is the problem. That is just the width of a ball, and yet you know that if you hit that, Mark Davis, that is. No, he's got away with it, but he made a mistake for sure in that safety shot. Well, he obviously tried to get the cue ball deep into that left corner of the table. In Brentwood the other day, I think, whether he's quite up to that. Very few players could have. Anyway, he's got this opportunity, starting from scratch. Well, misjudged by some margin in the end.
Having lost a few from well in front, but if Ronnie O'Sullivan doesn't win this match, there'll have to be something very special happening in the next sort of hour, because he's firm.
I've got a feeling the double he might be playing here. Yeah, he's tried it, and very cleverly played, because as you
This one.
Yes, he'll be looking to polish off this match soon for a while. The tournament, I wouldn't say it's fallen apart around him, but a lot of the players who have got previous of beating him, you know, your Neil Robertsons.
He won a first ranking title in Open.
Unusual for O'Sullivan. This is where he's good, though. He's recovered it there, and he can put the badge.
I reckon Pang Junxu will be keeping an eye on this and knowing that he'll have to cut out the mistakes that we saw from Ken Doherty and we've seen from Mark Davis. He's actually not had a good season in that one, assuming he wins here. Someone from a different generation, not a player he's grown up with like the first two opponents, but
the cue ball. So the lead is 11 points. Yeah, there it is. He's got a clear shot at that red. And perhaps at one other as well. Wow, I didn't really expect that, I've got to be honest. I don't think he did either. I've seen that quite a lot, Dave. Ooh, wow, he might just got to get out for the black. He's overscrewed by an absolute mile. And that is something he's doing. He's overscrewing on shot. So he's got a new tip, is the point. He must have. And maybe it's quite responsive, and these tables are...
So he lives to fight another day.
Yeah, that's well judged.
He's looking like going down to a heavy defeat there.
Well, this time, it's Mark Davis' turn to overscrew. He missed that by a mile. The shot before was the reason for it, so yes, he's back in the front. And Brown, that's what he's tried, but he needs that cue ball to race. Superb. It's quite difficult. The red's kind of exposed down in the middle of the table on his own there. Goodness, he's more than...
Well, Ding Junhui, meantime, on the other table is... Because he did win yesterday. As Mark Davis takes this on now, then he's going to leave it on. So this is O'Sullivan's chance. You may feel it should have been over already, but another chance has come. So, just a check of the scores. It's brown and blue at the end of the match. There was a bit of a scramble yesterday for pictures.
Well, I think Ronnie's played okay. He probably has high standards. I think he's overscrewing shots. I think he's probably had 2 matches with it. Mark Davis was never quite that man to beat him, I don't think.
In the end, it's Ronnie O'Sullivan who records a second successive 5-1 victory. Beat Ken Doherty yesterday and Mark Davis.